Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back to episode 126 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. Buongiorno.
You okay?
Oui bien.
Yeah, good.
No idea why I'm speaking French.
No. Is that French?
Oui bien.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway. I just want to say I just want to say thank you to everyone who keeps sending messages saying get well soon and all that. They're quite nice, actually. It's like a little pick-me-up when somebody says get well soon. My back's actually been worse this week, weirdly. I went to the doctors on Thursday and the doctor's actually quite happy with the progress. And fingers crossed, this week that we're in now is hopefully the last week that will be time off under doctor's orders. It'll then be the decisions with me.
You're going back to work.
Yeah, well, I got to because I'm just going insane. Yeah. But I think it feels a bit better knowing that there's a sort of light at the end of the tunnel and you actually get to go out and go back to work. And I never thought I'd say that, but you know, get out and go and do something and be a normal human being again. I think can't wait for that.
Yeah, so on this week's show, we're going to talk about our League One match against Lincoln City. We're also going to delve into a few of the stock level issues at the club shop.
I'd say delve into. I'm not sure how much we're going to delve into it, but I've just got something to moan about.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
And then a look ahead at our League One action game against Barnsley on Tuesday. And then we're also going to look at the game on Saturday against Burton Albion, which is away. And then we're also going to do the quiz.
I feel like you chucked the word action in there very randomly.
What did I say?
I'm not sure, but you definitely threw a very random action in there. But no, I liked it. Yeah,
good,
yeah, we'll carry on. News. So Bristol Rovers tickets went on sale last week. It was a trip that we really wanted to do.
We'd already bought the hotel like months and months ago.
It was. We do like a Christmas away game, don't we? We did York a couple of seasons ago, and York was great because York, for anybody outside the UK or doesn't know, or anyone in the UK doesn't know, York's very big on like Christmas markets and all that sort of stuff. It was great. It was packed while we were there. We stayed over, went to the game. The game wasn't great. We conceded a last-minute equaliser, but hey ho, that's the National League.
We had a nice family trip away.
Yeah, and we always try, and hopefully it's a decent place to go. We saw it was Bristol Rovers. Bristol, love Bristol. I don't think you've ever been to Bristol, have you?
I know you went on your stag do there, didn't you?
I did. I went on my stag do to Bristol. I love Bristol. It's great. I'll show you some of the strip clubs we went to.
I know for a fact that you didn't go to any strip clubs because you're with my brother, and my brother would have been like, no.
Oh, he was the one leading us. He was like, I know loads of them. No, I'm only joking, Dave.
This is like 11 years on and you're only telling me this now.
I'm joking. But yeah, Bristol, great city. So we're excited about that. So we were a little bit, are we going to get tickets?
Strict instructions not to forget to get them on Tuesday.
I know. But as it turns out, I don't know if it's because it's so close to Christmas. Hours and hours later, haven't checked today, but hours and hours later, there were still tickets available. So yeah, I'm glad we got them, but I don't think there was.
Hoping we'll get a good turnout.
I don't think there was the rush I needed to rush as much as I did because it's always a bit of a panic, isn't it, when you're trying to get tickets and But there was still tickets available hours later, so. Yeah, hope we sell them out. The game against Crewe has been confirmed. So the Virtue Trophy, as it's now called, formerly Bristol Street Motors Trophy, that game has been confirmed for Tuesday. Which I say it's been confirmed. When they said week commencing the 9th of December, we all knew when it was going to be. We knew it was going to be the Tuesday. We knew it was going to be a 7:30 kickoff. And all of that is true. So Tuesday, 10th of December, 7:30 kickoff. That is the Virtue Trophy game against Crewe. Yeah, I think I'm working. Well, fingers crossed, back in work, and I'm working, so I won't be able to go to that one.
Maybe me and your dad will go.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Talking about tickets and all that sort of stuff.
Can I just say about the Virtue Trophy?
Yeah.
The game against Crewe, obviously all the information's on the website, but season ticket holders do have priority, but their specific season ticket seat will not be reserved for them.
Oh.
So, because it's only going to be the Macron and I think it's the Wrexham Lager stand that are going to be open.
Yeah.
So, so your normal seat, I mean, you might be lucky enough to get your seat, but they're not going to be reserved for you.
Yeah, okay. That's
just so
fair
you
enough.
know, when you get there and you go, well, excuse me.
Yeah.
But,
I usually sit here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, because they're not opening all the stands, then that's the reason. Okay, that makes sense. So anyway, talking about tickets, ticket sales, all that sort of stuff.
Guff.
Yeah, we had there was a bit of an issue this week, wasn't there? Or last week, shall we say.
My boss had a very big issue with it when he came out. He was very angry.
Yeah, so Wrexham Football Club decided what they would do is they would jump on the Black Friday sale train. Now, for stuff in the club shop, yeah, I get that.
Perfect.
You know, it is that's what Black Friday's for merchandise, all that sort of stuff. What they decided to do was a Black Friday deal on tickets for the temp stand for the Barnsley game.
Yep.
This has caused, shall we call it a hoo-ha? A hoo-ha.
A hoo-ha.
Yeah,
ructions amongst fans.
Lots of people are very unhappy. Now, we're all aware of the issues with the temp stand at the moment. Tickets aren't selling.
For the fan zone, they're not selling.
Because of the extra £10 for the fan zone, the tickets aren't selling. The club made the decision to put these into a Black Friday sale, and I think they cut them in half.
They did, and also they have access to the fan zone as well.
So, oh God. So basically what has happened, there are people who have bought tickets in the temp stand.
For about £32.
Okay,
thereabouts.
There's them ones. There are people who've bought tickets in the normal, just temp stand with no fan zone access for 20.
Yes, 22, I think.
22.
Around.
Now they've halved the price of all of the tickets in that stand. There are people who will have fan zone access who will have paid less than people who just have standard tickets. Thoughts, Siân?
I think it's abysmal, if I'm honest. I think it's not that. I'm not sure who decided on this marketing strategy, but I don't think it's very good. I mean, I don't think people are, fans have constantly said, get rid of the fan zone, or even make it cheaper.
Or free.
You know, you're going to get people in. But I think before the fan zone was introduced, selling out. All the seats were selling out, hence why they upped the capacity, because they needed more tickets. Fan zone was introduced. It was a bit of a novelty. They did sell.
Yes.
But it started I think it started grating on people that they were paying £10 more than the standard seats. Yes, a lot of people like the fan zone, and it's quite, they have like a chat in before the game, Mia and Andy and all that, which is quite nice. That's cool.
Yes.
That's a good access to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time to say, admit defeat. We gave it a go. It didn't work. When we went to Birmingham, Do they have to pay extra for their fan zone?
No.
And their fan zone's pretty impressive. It is huge.
In all fairness to Birmingham, their fan zone's, like you say, it is massive.
Yeah.
It looks great. They've got music playing.
Pretty much like what we've got, but obviously
on a bigger scale. I'm not going to deny it.
It is a bigger ground though, so you are going to have a bigger scale.
It's on a bigger scale. It's all around the front of the ground. It's all nicely enclosed. To my knowledge, it's free. I know there are a few Birmingham City fans who listen to this podcast, so let us know if we're wrong on that. Let us know. But it didn't seem. It seemed there were areas that were quite open to be able to get into that fan zone if you wanted to get in. Didn't look like you had to pay anything to get in there. Look, I think yes, it's been a bit of an experiment. I think when it first happened, people were a bit £10. £10 for what? Access to this little fan zone that's got its own dedicated bar and all that sort of stuff.
Not enough seats for everybody.
Not enough seats for everybody who's actually buying access to the fan zone. £10 seemed excessive, which I sort of agreed with. But then it was sort of one of them things where you sort of go, well, if you don't want to go in the fan zone, don't go in the fan zone. But then you had this situation where the only tickets that were available were the fan zone tickets. So people were having to pay over the odds even when they didn't want to go into the fan zone just to be able to get to the game. And like you said, early doors, that was happening. People were buying the more expensive tickets
just to get to watch the game.
Just to get in, even though they weren't going to be going to the fan zone.
Well, like I said, my boss, he gets tickets all the time in the temporary stand. Comp, I was going to say that.
The comp stand.
I was cop and temp. Temp. Yeah. In the temporary stand. And he says that he gets them for the fan zone because obviously that's all that's available. Yeah. But he goes to the turf. So he's just buying the ticket to watch the game.
Yeah.
But it's not utilising the fan zone because I've not been in the fan zone in the temporary stand, but we've been in the fan zone of the turf. I loved the one in the turf. It's free to get in there.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is amazing. They've always got live music. Last time we went in there, Danny Gruff was singing.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said on another podcast, he sang at our wedding, so that was amazing.
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, let's not dwell on it too much. Get rid of the fan zone.
I think it's time
give
to
the
bin
fans
it off.
what they want.
Yeah.
Or just give everybody in that stand same price tickets. Give them access to the fan zone.
I think it's just been a bit of a PR disaster, hasn't it? Really,
has,
to do it and to look as a business. I don't always have a huge issue with you standing by. No, this is what we believe is right for the club, and this is what we believe is going to generate the most money and help us push on. And standing by that and going, no, we've made that decision and we're going to stick with it.
Yeah.
But there's got to come a point where we've seen a few games now where it's half empty, and I think a few people have said that the lads are putting the effort in on the pitch, and they deserve to
full house.
They deserve a full house there, and I think as fans as well, we deserve to see a full house at the ground as well. And I just think this close to Christmas, an extra little bit of money, a family of four, for example, it's an extra £40 to go to the game. That for something that maybe you don't even want. And I think that's the other problem with it is the fact that you're being forced to do it. You're not getting the choice. You're being forced to do it.
International fans, I think they don't have a choice. I think the cop stand is for international fans now.
Yeah.
We had an email off Leo Bernard.
Yeah.
We will reply to you. Sorry, it's been a bit mental here.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that he got tickets. I can't remember which game.
Cambridge, I think.
Cambridge, yeah. And he said that he only had the choice of the temporary stand. I'm not sure whether it was the temporary stand, fan zone and standard tickets, or whether it was just fan zone.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I don't know. But I think, look, Wrexham, I think it is time to bin it off because I think the fans have spoken really.
Yeah.
And you've got to listen to the fans at times. And
you gave it a go.
You gave it a go. It hasn't worked. And I think the time has come to revert it back to just make it optional or make it free. I think that's the best way.
Even when they give the option, I think they're obviously losing money because our capacity has gone down since.
But how much money are they losing by making the tickets half price?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, if that is your go-to as a plan B, then how much money are you losing from making them half price?
Yeah.
And it has annoyed a lot of people who've paid full price for tickets. You know, it's one of them things that I get that. And you have to wonder, when was this the plan? Was it the plan all along this week to sort of go, okay, if they don't sell, we're going to make them half price? It's one of them things when you buy something in a sale, though, isn't it? You buy a coat that's full price, and then you go 2 weeks later and it's in sale. You know, it's sort of like, and I'm not being horrible, but in situations like that, it's sort of like, tough luck. Maybe you should have waited for the sale. But you know, in this instance, I'm not saying that because it's sort of like you didn't know a sale was coming, and you didn't know it was a possibility of a sale, and nobody dreamed this was going to happen. So I can understand people being really annoyed.
Yes.
But there we go. Look, I want to talk, as you mentioned, a little bit about the club shop. Just to explain our Christmas a little bit, I certainly have got to an age now where I don't, it's not that I don't want anything for Christmas. I struggle a little bit to find things, because throughout the year, if I want something, I buy it, because, you know, that's sort of where we're at in our lives. It's sort of like, you know, you've got a little bit of spare money. I want that. I'm going to buy that.
Yeah.
So then you get to Christmas and you sort of feel like you're buying stuff just for the sake of it. So sometimes I struggle to find stuff for me, and we are a couple who very much go, right, tell me what you want, I'll tell you what I want. We generally just buy our own stuff and then hand them over, and the other one wraps it. We know what we're getting. There's no surprises or anything like that.
It's very much a waste of wrapping paper.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So
it is.
yeah,
but
we do apologise for that.
It's nice to open a present, though.
Yes, I like wrapping them because I like them to be under the tree and make the tree look prettier.
Yeah. So anyway, that's quite long and drawn out for absolutely no reason. But so I decided, right, let's have a look in the club shop online. Let's see what sort of Wrexham stuff maybe that I could have for Christmas. Found a hoodie, really liked it. Little hooded jacket. It was the sort of like navy-ish with the gold badge and the gold sort of trim and all that sort of stuff. Loved it. Didn't have my size. Didn't have a size up, didn't have a size down. Sold out. I was like, oh, all right then, fair enough. And then I saw sort of like a polo shirt, similar style with the gold and all that sort of stuff. Didn't have my size, didn't have a size up, didn't have a size down. And I started sort of going round the club shop, looking at stuff that I didn't even want. Just to see, well, is this in stock? Out of stock, out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. Like some things they were in stock, but the only sizes they had were 5XL. Like I have put on a little bit of weight over the time that I've been off work. Not that much. So, you know, that was the only size that was available. And the thing that it sort of makes me think about is, whose fault is this? Is this the club? Because as a business, you forecast, don't you? You try and, you know, you work out from previous years how much of certain things that you've sold, and try and forecast ahead for what you will need for a busy period, i.e. Christmas. And you do all of that. So is it the club haven't forecasted correctly, and a lot of stuff is out of stock? Is it the fact that the club want it, but we have Macron, and Macron are unable to deliver what we need and keep up with demand?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I would love some insight from somebody who maybe has a better idea than we do as to why this is happening. Because I felt it was important to talk about this week, because as you rightly said, they're losing money on the temporary cop. And they're trying to recoup that money in whatever way they can. And their idea was the fan zone, which obviously, hasn't worked out for them. But if you are trying to recoup costs and, you know, for something that you've brought in, surely the ideal way to do that with the global appeal that the club has, the ideal way surely to do that is to make sure all of your stuff is in stock at a busy time like Christmas, that you can just sell. You know, I don't know. What the point I was going to make is that, you know, I dare say there's lots of other clubs with a similar size fan base to us, and I'm sure if you went on their club shop, all their stuff would be in stock. The first one I went to was Birmingham, and I clicked on a couple of things and all their stuff was out of stock as well, so it didn't really prove my point. But I just, for me, I think that is surely something that has to be looked at.
It's a fundamental part of business, isn't it? What's it called?
Supply and demand.
Supply and demand,
and you know, surely you have an idea of what your demand will be.
Yeah.
And then you then go to your supplier and go, we think our demand will be here. And I know it's tight and you don't want to overstock on something, but there must be some sort of deal that you can do with the supplier to go, right, okay, this is how many we want. When the stocks are getting low, we're going to order this and we need it in this amount of time. I don't know. So like I say, if anyone has more insight than me, but they've obviously lost a sale of a couple of items from me. And I'm sure that's not going to break the bank for them. But how many other people are out there like me who have gone to buy something and it's not available? And and I wanted to get as we've discussed before, this podcast is very much therapy for us, and we like to get stuff out there. And it's just something that really annoyed me this week. You know, we've had this issue with shirts in the past. We're you know, training.
They got that right this year.
They did, but then we've got something else that isn't, you know.
Maybe next year they'll get the Christmas stock right.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Look, a quick one before we move on to the game. I just wanted to say, get well soon to Steve Jones. Steve had a stroke on Saturday, so I hope you're feeling better, Steve. I did see that you'd posted on Twitter. So I, you know, fingers crossed. He was thanking the NHS and for everything they'd done for him. Steve was the stadium announcer before the guy that we've got now. He was the previous stadium announcer. So I just wanted to say, get well.
If he was in the Wrexham Miler, I can obviously back the NHS for that, because my mum was on the stroke unit a few years ago when she had a stroke whilst on holiday. So they do an amazing job, and yeah.
Yeah, so get well soon.
Thank you.
Get well soon, Steve.
If you would like to support the page, you can do so
the show,
or the page, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, if you want to support the show, you can do so by buying us a coffee. And the page that you can go and visit is buymeacoffee.com/me the wife. I really messed that up, didn't I?
A couple of thank yous this week. A thank you very much to Jerry Lederer.
Lederer.
Yeah. Okay.
Lederer.
And Marcus as well. Thank you very much to both of you
Marcus
for supporting the show.
Marcus is coming over with his lovely wife.
He is. That's for the Cambridge game, I believe.
I'm not sure.
I think so. We've got a very busy day on the Cambridge day. We've got a little meal after as well, and we'll talk about that a bit more close.
I forgot about that.
Yes, you did.
Is that going ahead, is it?
I think so.
Oh, Sky, anyway. We haven't heard from you about it, so get in touch.
Yes, please do. So, little fantasy EFL update. My team's gone out the window. I have, honestly, I'm not going to lie, I've lost the dressing room. I have lost the dressing room completely. No one's performing for me. I'm doing all my homework. I think I'm picking a good team. And it's just not happening for me. It's not at the moment. For whatever reason, I had... so there was a game on Friday night, and I had a player in my team, excellent central defender, Harry Suter, and plays for Sheffield United. Great, great player. It had him in defence. He got sent off. So by the time the game started on the Saturday, I was already on -1 for that one. So yeah, I've lost the dressing room completely. But well done to the people who are doing well. First is Christian at the moment. Well done, Christian. Second is Ben Parker, and third is Susan Jones. Well done,
guys.
Yeah, well done.
So let's talk about the Lincoln City game that we attended last Tuesday at the Stoke High Ross.
Yeah, let's.
It was very cold, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was cold.
Again, empty fan zone. Anyway, so it was an unchanged lineup from the Exeter game, which I was very pleased about because that's what I put for my prediction on FanHub.
Forgot to do it.
What a shock.
Yeah.
So Mullen was still on the bench, which I don't think is too much of a shock at the moment. As we obviously mentioned with attendance going down, there was 11,860 people in attendance. It's the lowest home game. The lowest attendance for a home game this season so far, which is mental.
1,500 less than capacity.
Is it weather? It's just one of them things, isn't it?
I don't know. It was obvious to see where the 1,500 fans were missing from. It was obvious it was from the temp stand.
Although they did have the bottom half of where the away fans sit empty.
Yeah.
So
that would have contributed, but there was a good. There was over 1,000 seats in the temp stand. I would say that were empty. There was a big gaping hole in there. It's not great. It's not great for atmosphere either because, it sort of puts you on the back foot as a fan a little bit. When you go, you sit down, you go, that's a bit empty. Because we got to the game late, didn't we?
Literally.
Because of my...
That's something we should have talked about.
Yes, because of my back, we decided, yes, we'll go, but we'll go later. We don't want to be standing around or sitting around for longer than we need to be, and I don't want to sort of, make my back any worse. We got there at about 22, didn't we? When kickoff was at 1:45. Massive queue to get in. Massive queue. So I don't know if everybody had a similar idea. It's cold, it's wet. Let's just turn up at kickoff and let get in. But we sort of missed kickoff.
Only by a few minutes.
We missed the first couple of minutes. We were there in time. But
we weren't inside.
We had to queue up for a few minutes, and I think we were 2 minutes in, maybe, by the time we got to our seats. Which, we won't be doing that again when we go on Tuesday for the Barnsley game. We'll get there a little bit earlier. Yeah, just a touch earlier.
Yeah, just a touch.
Lincoln, good team.
Yeah.
It was always going to be a really difficult game. They are where they are in the league. They're not there by accident. They're a very solid team. I would maybe go as far as to say the best team that have come to the Racecourse this season. Yeah. I would probably say, very well organised, very good at sort of good slick passing, good at getting the ball forward. They had two strong, decent strikers. They were getting the ball up to them. They were creating chances, and I think everything came from them early on. Yeah. Lewis Brunt got a yellow card 11 minutes in. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I like Lewis Brunt,
I do. He's so good in the air. He has got a pounce on him, hasn't he?
He has,
He was getting over the players.
He's got a proper leap on him.
Leap, that's the word I was looking for, not bounce.
Yeah. Pounce, you said.
Pounce, did I?
I don't know what you said.
Leap, I meant. He's good in the air.
He's got a good leap on him.
Which you wouldn't think from him, I don't think. He's not the sort of type you'd think would be good in the air, but he is just brilliant.
Yeah, he is, definitely. He's got, he was winning lots in the air.
He was.
And I'm really happy with him. And if I was Tom O'Connor right now, I'd be sitting there thinking, I'm not sure I'm getting back in that position, which for me is a good thing. We spoke about this last week. I'm not sure Tom O'Connor is a defender in the in the truest sense of the word, but and when he came on as a sub, not on Tuesday, maybe the game before that, he came on in midfield. So I think maybe Parky's trying to transition him back
to what he is good
to what we actually signed him as, which
maybe
is a central midfielder. But anyway, the Lewis Brunt yellow card, very innocuous. It was a foul. I've seen the replay. I saw it at the time. Ref booked him, and I was gobsmacked. I thought that's so odd because it was a very innocuous challenge. It was a foul. It was a free kick. It wasn't a yellow card in a million years. But it sort of set the tone a little bit.
Oh my God.
For the ref and the linesman.
They were awful.
They were.
You know, we've seen some bad refereeing and linesmanship.
Yes.
Actually, then I looked this up because I was like, a linesman, you can't really call them linesmen because we had a woman.
Assistant referee.
They were called assistant referees, though, aren't they? So,
Yeah.
So the assistant referees were, and the referee were terrible. The decisions were, some of the decisions they made, people were moaning about, but actually, you were like, they were okay.
You moaned at one.
I did.
You moaned at one, and I put you in your place at one point because it was at Dobson fouled one of the Lincoln players out in the. He was sort of making his way to the corner of the box. And you were like, oh my God, the refs. I think there's a danger sometimes. I always try and play devil's advocate a little bit and try and forget that you're a Wrexham fan. It's hard. But I think when the ref gives a few bad decisions, which he had, the linesman on our side had given a few very poor decisions. He gave offside once. And I turned to you and I go, there is no chance in hell he knew whether he was offside or not because he was too far back. He was looking diagonally at where the play was. He had no idea.
And he kind of hesitated when he put the
flag
up.
He had no idea whether he was offside or not because he couldn't tell. He was pretty much at the same angle as we were. And to me, he looked onside. But if I'm honest, I had no idea because of the angle that we were at. And a few people I've seen on sort of X and Blue Sky and stuff like that were going, no, we were in line, no chance they were offside. So I think the one thing you want from a ref and an assistant referee is, you know, whether we get the decisions or not, just ref honestly.
Be consistent
and don't guess.
Yeah.
Don't guess. If you're having to guess, the likelihood is you're gonna get it wrong.
Yeah.
So don't guess. If you don't know if he's offside, don't give it because you can't give a decision that you're not aware of. Anyway, there was one of their sort of left-sided players was driving towards the box. We'd had a few decisions sort of go against us, which were a little bit dubious. Dobbo put his foot in, fouled him, and you were like, "Oh my God, it's another decision that's gone against us." And I said, "No." I said, "Let's have this right." I said, "That is a foul. That's a foul all day long, and that is." Not only is it a foul,
just having Dobbo's back.
I know, but it was a stupid place to be sticking your foot in
by the penalty box,
and giving a free kick away in that area.
Yeah.
You know, so there were a few instances where, because the ref and the assistant ref had got the crowd's back up, they were just going against everything he was doing. When if you're going to hold your hands up and go, he did get a lot wrong. But he got a lot right as well, you know, and we were just booing every single thing that he gave, you know, and...
You don't know what you're doing.
I know. And sometimes I think as players, you need to hold your hands up and go, look, that was a stupid thing to do. Yeah. And there was a few of them on sort of Tuesday night where it's a stupid place to stick your foot in. It's don't
area.
Yeah, you don't need to be making that tackle and giving free kicks away. But it is what it is. The first chance for them came from that free kick where Brunt got his yellow card. Callum Burton made a really good save down to his right hand side. Yeah, our first real chance didn't come until sort of like the end of the first half. And it was from sort of like quite an unlikely source. It was Lewis Brunt.
Yep.
So ball goes in. I've watched the replay a few times. He's again, very good leap on him. He got high, he got above everyone else. Sort of hits him on the side of the head a little bit instead of sort of full force. I think he could have directed it a bit better if he'd hit it straight on. But the ball's coming over his shoulder, and it sort of hit him on the side of the head.
Concussed him a little bit.
It hit the bar. It hit the bar, and probably the closest anybody came in that first half. It was 0-0 at half time.
I was happy with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree because
the way it was going, I was like, I'm happy with 0-0.
I think because I think Lincoln going in at half time were probably the better team. They were probably the happier with what they'd done. We're the home team. They've managed to pin us back quite well. They've managed to get the ball forward. They'd managed to create chances. They'd forced Callum into 1 or 2 saves.
Yeah.
When you're playing a team that are in the top 2, like we are, I think to go to our ground and to be the better team in that first half and to create the most chances, you've got to be the happier of the 2 teams going in at half time.
Definitely.
I think the tactics that worked against Exeter, so the way that we set up with just Ollie up top and Lee joining him every now and again and sort of playing just behind Ollie and then joining him to make a 2
Ollie.
up front. Bolly, yeah. You sort of said it and then just really serious face looking at me.
I was going to say something, but then I thought,
yes, yeah. So, everything that worked against Exeter, I didn't feel was working against Lincoln, which just goes to show every team are different. They'd done their homework. They'd obviously looked at how we'd set up against Exeter, and they went, right, okay, we're not letting them dominate the game in the way that they did against them. And I thought they did it really well. They doubled up on Barney quite a bit as well.
They did. People seem to be doing that quite a lot lately.
Look, it's not the worst thing in the world. I talked to somebody a couple of weeks ago about, because obviously I do a fantasy football, Premier League fantasy football as well. And we'd sort of discussed Bukayo Saka for Arsenal a little bit. He plays out on the right. He's very creative and gets balls in. I'm not likening Barney to Saka in any way, but similar ilk, the sort of, what a lot of Premier League teams had started doing was doubling up on Saka. And he had, because of that, had become less effective because every time he got the ball, there was 2 men on him. He couldn't really do what he was normally doing. He wasn't winning as many points as he had done.
Balls, you mean?
Points, as in fantasy football, is what I'm saying. And then he had a few weeks when he wasn't really sort of providing many points in fantasy football. But then what happens the more that you double up and the more teams that double up on a player because they're dangerous, 2 men on one, that creates a free man somewhere else. And then what Arsenal, it's not an Arsenal podcast, but what Arsenal started to do was not necessarily go to him very much, but use the space that had been created by 2 men getting drawn to him.
Yeah.
And then over time, what happened is teams then stopped doubling up on him because they were leaving too much space elsewhere. I dare say a similar thing will happen. We might have a few weeks where people double up on Barney and try and nullify him as a threat. But the more that we create chances elsewhere on the pitch because of having 2 men on him, I dare say that might go away and Barney might come into it a little bit more. But we will have to wait and see. I think second half we look more in the game. I think if
I'm... a word.
First chance to Bolly.
Bolly.
Ball in. I think it was maybe Dobbo played, or it might have been Ryan Barnett, played a sort of ball from halfway-ish over to Bolly. And he sort of took it down on his chest. He was clean through, one-on-one with the keeper, and he just blazed it over. The ball was dropping. He just didn't let it drop enough. And he put it, I mean, it wasn't even close. He should have at least tested the keeper. We should have scored. Let's not beat around the bush. He should have scored. He was a bit too eager to get on it. And because of that, he put it miles over the bar. Talking of Bolly as well, probably the best thing he did all game was he cleared. So they had a corner, I think it was a header. It was going in and he cleared it off the line. He did. I would possibly argue that was the best thing he did all game, and that was in a defensive capacity. So I'm not sure we saw. I thought he did all right, but I think he probably should have had 1 or 2 goals out of a performance like that he put in.
Yeah.
He certainly had the chances to do it, and I was a little bit disappointed with him on Tuesday night, if I'm honest. I think he could have done more. Is my point I think there was goals in the performance.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
But yeah, we were very lucky not to go 1-0 down. I think from that header that he cleared off the line. And then George Dobson decided that he'd had enough. He's had enough. He just went, hold my beer, and then he dribbled round about 4 or 5 players. He played a great ball out to James McLean, and James McLean, similar ilk, just sort of went, I've had enough of this.
Oh, my beer.
Oh, my beer. I'm just going to smash this. Smashed it, and it hit Tendai Darikwa. I'm going to go with that. Yeah. Hit him, went in, own goal, 1-0. Sigh of relief. It felt quite nervy up until that point, I think.
Sorry.
You're all right. Quite nervy up until that point. I don't think you've seen it. I watched the AAA. From the Lincoln game, and it's the goal. It's fascinating, because the crowd is singing. George Dobson dribbles round a couple of people. He plays the ball out to McLean, and there's like a big collective shout of "Go on!" Right? Honestly, you want to watch it. It is right. There's a "Go on," and then it goes deadly silent until the ball hits the back of the net, and it's not something. It makes me. It was like a little bit of a goosebumpy moment. Honestly, I'll show it you after we've recorded. It was just like this. Go on, oh everyone all together. Silence, and then when the ball hit the back of the net, everyone erupts, and it makes me feel quite strange when I see things like that, because it felt like such a big moment, and it, like I say, it sort of gives you goosebumps when you watch it. I would highly recommend anyone watch AAA from the game just to see this moment. But then it sort of makes you feel, I wish like I live in the moment a little bit, and I noticed these things happening during the game. But then you sort of think, well, you're one of them people who go on. Yeah. And you're one that's there, that's holding their breath, waiting for something to happen, because it's literally what happens. There's that shout. Everyone holds their breath, and you can hear a pin drop. And I'll have to show it you. It was absolutely fascinating. One of their players, Dom Jeffries, sort of spat his dummy out a little bit, didn't he, during the game? So he sort of swore at our stand right in front of us because we wouldn't give him the ball back. Right in front
of our child, may I just say. Yeah. This is why I put a post on.
Yeah.
People swear. It's, I swear.
Yeah.
But I don't swear in front of my child.
Yeah.
So it's like when somebody who is meant to be a professional, who's meant to be somebody for children and whatever, to look up to, hearing them tell one of our fans to F off because he wouldn't give him the ball, it's a bit like, but then, you kind of do take a step back and go, if that was one of our players, how would they have reacted? I don't think they would have reacted that same way. I think they would have just gone to get another ball.
I think I like a bit of spice from a player.
I don't. I think it's unprofessional. I don't like it.
We were talking about celebrating in front of rival fans on the weekend, weirdly enough, weren't we? And we sort of said if a rival player scores and celebrates in front of our fans,
it's so angry.
We go mental. We go mad.
Yeah.
Go and watch the Premier League for a weekend. Literally every goal is celebrated in front of rival fans. But I'm talking about him a bit too much this week. But Bukayo Saka did it.
Yeah, he did.
He did sort of 3 celebrations all in one. He shushed the crowd. And then he did the whole thing in the ear of going, yeah, I've heard you all game. And then he did a big laugh in their face because he just put his team 4-0 up. I like all that, though.
I do want to see more celebrations from our players, to be honest.
In front of their fans?
No, not necessarily in front of their fans, but just genuinely. They run up to the, when they've scored, and then they just, I don't know. But
like signature celebration.
Yeah, so Paul Mullen scored. He's going to do his signature signature
I suppose we don't really. That's an interesting one, because we don't really have that.
No, and I think
you've been watching me play FC25 a little bit too much, where we do all the celebrations. But it's a good point, really, isn't it? But just sort of think maybe because you're lower down the leagues, you'd get all the rival fans going, Who do they think they are?
Who
Who do they think they are? They think
People say that about us anyway. So what's add more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, I'm with you. I'd like to see some
like
more.
Dobbo doing the robot.
Dobbo's not scoring.
No, I know, but all right, okay. McLean doing the robot then.
Yeah. Something, just some. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about it.
If anybody watches this and they have an in to the club, please speak to the players and get them to do some
signature. I remember Andy Cannon did the whole Cole Palmer
but
one,
Cole Palmer
didn't he?
does that. It's not signature, is it? It's signature to Cole Palmer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So Andy Cannon could go, "Rawr."
There is an FC25 celebration where the player, it's supposed to be quite a toxic one. I use it quite a bit when I'm playing against players. Where the player slides on their knees and they do sort of like a kitty cat, little like claws. That would be a good one for Andy Cannon, I think.
Yeah, do you know what? When we finish recording this, we're going to sit down and we're going to go, right, we need signature moves.
Yeah, we do.
So if you've got any signature moves that you think our players should do at a game, then let us know.
We had the Mullin Deadpool mask, didn't we?
Yeah, that was just rubbish.
Yeah, we had that one, but
that came out once and it got so much thingy from it.
Unfortunately for him, I don't think he's scored since. So
no, he has.
Has he?
Yes,
okay,
he
so
has.
that's possibly why that wasn't come out very often. But look, it was a nervy last 20 minutes in the game. Lincoln had a couple of chances quite late on. Could have very easily made it 1-1. Right at the end as well, because I went for 2. What did you go for? 3-0 as your prediction. I went for 2-0. We were 1-0 up. Barney sort of went through on the right-hand side, practically last kick of the game. Ollie was in the middle on his own. He just had to play it across and it was a tap-in for Ollie.
Yeah.
And he decided to have a shot and he dragged the shot wide. I was fuming. I think Bolly was as well. Because he was just, he was free in the middle, 2-0. Another prediction right from me. Wasn't happy with him, but there you go. Man of the match was James McLean.
I think that's purely because I voted for Max Cleworth.
Did you?
I think I did.
I think there was a few. Now. I thought Lewis Brunt was excellent.
Yes.
I thought he was very good.
Alfie voted for Lewis Brunt.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
Okay. I think George Dobson. I thought he was excellent, especially his little, sort of run and everything.
Yeah.
I thought generally he was very good during the game. I thought Ollie Rathbone was very good. Lolly was very good as well for me. And I thought Elliot Lee had an okay game, but I think
better.
Yeah, and I think in a game when nobody really stands out, it usually goes to the player who scores, or in McLean's case, didn't, but he pretty much he got the sort of like assist for the own goal. So.
Yeah.
Look, we asked you what you thought of the game. We got loads of comments. We'll read some of them out. Christian McHale generally played well. Good attack play, just couldn't convert. They were a good, solid side and tough to break through. Probably the best side we've seen at the Racecourse this season yet, I would agree. Was good to see creative play through the middle. Dobson was more attacking, not just crosses.
I thought he was going to score, at one point.
Yeah.
But he went, no, pass the ball to someone else.
Matthew says patience pays off. Dean said very good back-to-back wins and especially clean sheets against 2 benchmark League One teams. Didn't get bullied. New signings have real quality.
Rick O'Brien, very close, nerve-wracking game. Ugly win is still a win and 3 points. Absolutely.
Very true.
They are generating chances but just struggling to finish to build on the lead like they did Saturday. Quite a fantastic, enjoyable season. Promotion is a reality. Hopefully Super Paul Mullen returns to form soon. Gareth Roberts, Lincoln. Very difficult to break down. Wrexham not firing on all cylinders.
Nigel said, we will look back at this on a warm April's day and say that was a great 3 points. A battling performance against a side that had done their homework. Yeah, definitely. Shocking ref. Brunt, McLean, Palmer, outstanding.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Merculago, I think we did well against Lincoln to keep a clean sheet and get a win. They played hard and pressed a lot only the match. Well, we defended pretty well and we were a little lucky with a few their shots on goal being wide of the mark. Absolutely.
Rob, the last 15 minutes was stressful. These are the Tuesday points that get you into the playoffs 100%.
Yeah.
Brian, it seems like we're always looking for the cross and playing it out from the middle. Not that it hasn't been successful for us, but a few pokes through the middle and shots on target might keep the defence honest when expecting us to push it wide. Yeah, that may be a good point, that one. JB, strong, confident defence, but the offence was not clicking. Bolly and Lolly, yes, JB, yes. Both looked strong.
We have to give kudos to Lee Baines for these, Lolly and Bolly, because he's the one that came up with the title.
It's sticking.
And apparently his wife messaged us and said that we'd made his year by using it as a title. So you are very welcome, Lee. It's a great title.
It's staying now. It's staying.
Eric, looked like they were missing something. Not sure what it was, but I didn't see the same spark as I saw on Saturday, although Lewis Brunt and Callum Burton look magnificent. Yeah, they are doing great.
I think sometimes we forget Callum Burton a little bit because
we do,
because he had an excellent game as well. Another clean sheet for him. That's two clean sheets in a row for him. Stepping into Arthur's shoes.
Yeah.
I thought he was brilliant. And everything, he didn't have loads to do.
No.
But, you know, what he did well. Wrexham FC Boston, snooze fest all around until our goal. For me, Palmer was the only one giving as many chances for much of the match. We got lucky with the own goal. Defence was great, but they missed a couple of easy goals somehow, or it's 0 or 1 point and not 3. And I love Barney, but he's got to pass that. Yeah, I know.
Callie Wrexham AFC fan, I like the win and the hard fought fair play. I still think the lads are in third gear. Wait until Super Paul gets firing and Arthur is back.
Yeah, Todd Cross. We didn't play the best, yet still came away with 3 points. Strangely enough, that's a great sign. But when we do play well, it's a thing of beauty. Look, if you want to get in touch, you can do on Blue Sky, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or email us at wrexhamafc@gmail.com.
So let's head into the games that we've got. No.
I'll just do a quick roundup before we do move on to the next game. This is fine. Birmingham beat Exeter 2-0. Wickham won 1-0 at home to Mansfield. Last minute goal on Tuesday for them. Huddersfield beat Leyton Orient 2-0. Barnsley drew 2-2 with Reading. We stay second in the league. 4 points behind Wickham in first, who do have a game in hand as well. 1 point ahead of Birmingham in third, and 7 points ahead of the final playoff spot, which is brilliant.
Got it to you back. So let's talk about Barnsley. So the game is on Tuesday the 3rd of December. Kickoff is at 7:45 at the Stoke Kairos. Barnsley are 18th currently in the...
No,
they're not.
They're not. It's our 18th game of the season.
I do that all the time.
You do that. It's our 18th league game of the season. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. As I said, we're home to at Stoke Kairos. I believe there's still tickets available, even with this £11 half price Black Friday cut-off thing.
There was at time of recording. Whether that's still the case when this is released, I don't know. But if you do want to go, there was when we started. So
they play in red. Their away shirt is white. Their third shirt is pink. So possibly they'll be playing in their white or pink.
White, I think.
Yeah. Their nickname is the Tykes, Little Tykes.
Yeah.
Last game with them, we drew 2-2 at the Racecourse in April 2005 in League One. They were relegated from the Championship in 2022. They've been in League One playoffs the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, seasoned, very good team. Like you say, they've made the playoffs in League One the last 2 seasons. Last season they finished 6th, and they lost to Bolton.
Weirdly, they're 6th in the league now as well.
Yes.
Weird,
yeah, I know. So they drew 2-2 with Reading on Tuesday. Saturday in the FA Cup, this is quite key. They drew 0-0 with Bristol Rovers. So a few key points. They lost on penalties in the end. So a few key points from that. Yes, it was the FA Cup, but they played their normal full 11. They didn't make any changes. So it's then the team that will probably face us on Tuesday. They got taken to extra time, so they had to play an extra half an hour on top of the 90 that they played. They then went into the penalty shootout and lost it, which is obviously a bit of a deflator for them. So I think that's really important, and it's a good sign for us that they didn't make any changes. Full team went out, had to play for 2 hours, and then ended up losing the game. I think that can only be positive for us.
Yes.
Like you say, they're 6th in the league, 27 points. They've won 7, drawn 6, and lost 4 this season. Top scorer is Adam Phillips with 5. Prediction?
Well, I'm not going to go big like I did on... I don't know, Right, I'm going to go 2-0.
Okay. I decided mine before ages ago. I'm going 3-1.
Okay.
3-1 for me, I think.
3-1. Burton Albion.
Yeah.
I have to try and get a word in edgeways with him, so I have to interrupt him. So Burton Albion is on Saturday the 7th of December. This is an away game. Kick-off is at 3 p.m. This will be our 19th league game of the season. We're away, like I said, at the Pirelli Stadium. Their capacity is around 6,912. We were allocated 1,660 tickets, which have all sold out.
Yeah, it's not too far away. It's only 93 miles. It's about 2 hours. And you could probably, if you put your foot down, you could do it a little bit quicker than that.
Yeah,
as well.
We didn't get tickets for Burton Albion.
We didn't. No, it's just the other side of Stoke. Burton is.
Shame.
Yeah.
Anyway, they play in yellow. Their away shirt is white. Their third shirt is all blue/green.
No, it's a weird one. It's like I think it starts as blue, and it's one of them.
Oh, it's a blue-green gradient.
Yeah, it's like a colour change, and it ends being like a greeny sky bluey at the bottom.
Their third shirt is a blue-green gradient.
Yes.
And their nickname is the Brewers. The last game that we played was 3-2 defeat at the Racecourse in the EFL Trophy last season in December 2023.
Yeah.
The last away game was a 2-1 defeat in February 2009 in the National League. They spent 2 seasons in the Championship between 2016 to 2018. Lost last 2 home league games, 1-0 to Charlton on Tuesday and 3-0 to Stockport on Saturday the 23rd of November. Only have 5 points from 9 home games. They're bottom of the league on 8 points. I think that's terrible.
Yeah.
They've won 1, drawn 5, lost 10.
Yeah, so their FA Cup game, the reason we haven't mentioned that is they play their FA Cup game on Sunday, which is actually after we have recorded this podcast, so we can't give you any information on that.
They lost 20-0.
Their top scorer is Danilo Orsi. You might recognise the name.
Him.
He played for Crawley last season, played against us. He scored 6 for them this season. So, prediction?
4-0.
Woohoo!
Oh, I'm going... Oh, actually, it's away, isn't it? Yeah, no.
4-0.
4-0.
I'm going to go 2-0.
4-0. I've got your backs, boys.
Yeah, go for it. Look, quick shout out for Dragon Chat. It's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 Zoom calls. One is on a Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for women. And the other one is at 7 p.m. on a Thursday and that is for men. All the details of how to get on the Zoom calls are down in the description if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're struggling in any way, get in touch. We'll give you the information of how to get on them calls. Alternatively, you can follow Steve Lloyd on socials. On X, it is at Dragon Chat WXMFC. On Blue Sky, it is dragonchat.bsky.social. We've noticed a bit of a migration in socials, haven't we? We've at time of recording, I think we're up to about 300 followers on Blue Sky at the moment. Thereabouts. But we've noticed that a lot of people are leaving X because we've gained 300 on Blue Sky. But we've lost about 150 on X. So there's a very clear migration over to Blue Sky at the moment. I don't know if that'll continue, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Whoa!
Didn't see it. I was looking at the clock.
Clicked onto the old quiz there, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, quiz time. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We won 1-0 against Lincoln on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Courtesy of an own goal from Tendai Derekwa.
I'm glad you didn't ask me what his name was.
But which club were the last club to score an own goal against us? Remember, I think, just to help you out a little bit, remember if I don't give you options, That is probably because it's in recent history and you're not having to think back too far.
Charlton.
It was Charlton. Yes, well done. One point. James McLean won man of the match on Tuesday, but he did not receive the highest match rating on SofaScore. Which Wrexham player was that?
Was it Ryan Barnett by any chance?
It wasn't Ryan Barnett, no. It was George Dobson. Okay, question 3. So, talking about George Dobson, he's on everything all the time at the moment, and he's always on the ball, he's setting chances up, he's dribbling past players. You know, we see him a lot, don't we? And because we see him a lot, what's his number? That's not the instant answer I expected.
15.
It is 15, well done.
I know Owen O'Connor used to be 15, didn't he?
Yeah, if you say so.
Yeah, he did.
Go on then. Question 4. Both our opponents this week begin with the letter B.
Right.
Barnsley Burton.
Thanks for confirming that for
No
me.
worries. But can you name the other 4 League One teams who begin with B?
Birmingham.
Correct. You need all of them for a point.
Right, just...
All right. I really need a wee as well.
Birmingham.
So I think you said that twice.
Birmingham. Oh my God, I can't think.
Are you doing this slowly now on purpose because they're saying in the toilet?
No, I want to think. I want to get it right. Birmingham. Bolton.
Correct.
2 more.
2 more.
Birmingham, Bolton.
I mean, one of them, well, both of them you should get. One of them you definitely should get. We've even talked about them on this podcast today.
Birmingham, Bolton. Oh, not Bradford City because they're not in League One. Oh, Christ. B. Can you give me a clue? No.
No, not really.
Birmingham.
We are playing both of these teams. Okay. No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say.
Oh, Bristol Street Rovers.
Bristol Street Rovers.
Why do I keep doing... Do you know what? I was thinking about that last night. I thought, if you talk about Bristol Rovers, don't say Bristol Street.
Siân keeps...
I keep saying it.
She keeps amalgamating Bristol Street Motors with Bristol Rovers and coming out with Bristol Street Rovers. It's funny.
I like it.
Yeah,
Change
one more to get.
Bristol Rovers.
Bristol Street
Bristol
Rovers.
Street Rovers. And...
Blur.
Birmingham. I'm trying to like... I can't think of the last one. Blackpool!
Yes, Blackpool. Well done. Well done. Question 5.
Yes.
You have 3 out of 4, I think?
Yes.
Our first game of the month of December is on Tuesday.
Yep.
But how many games in total in all competitions will we play this month?
7.
It is 7. Well done.
Do you know how I know that?
Because you've been looking.
No.
What?
Well, yeah. I did the fixture post this morning.
Did ya?
So I knew we've got the...
Barnsley Burton, Crewe, Cambridge, Bristol Street Rovers at Blackpool and Wigan.
And then the Virtue Trophy is Crewe Alexandra.
I said that one.
Did you?
Yeah,
Wasn't
I did.
listening.
No, I know. Well, look.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5, decent. You're on a roll at the moment. You're on a really good roll, and you're doing really well. So well done.
Thanks.
No worries. And there wasn't a hint of sarcasm in that when I said it.
Yeah, there was.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah,
Not at all. I'm saying well done.
I know
you're doing well.
I know you.
You're doing well. You are doing well. I'm going to keep saying it. You're doing well.
What, just like Christian's doing well in the AFL Trophy? Oh my God. EFL Fantasy Football League. What is wrong with me?
I don't know.
I just amalgamated
Should
all
we
these
end it
words.
there? I'm
Yeah.
starting to do the wee dance now because
I'm
I
sure
really
everyone
need
doesn't
it.
want to know that you need a wee.
Well, I've said it 3 times now, so...
Thank you very much for watching. We shall see you next week. Have an amazing week, and we shall see you next week on the podcast. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye.